Welcome to Climate Currents, where today we tackle a monumental question. How do we fund the fight against climate change in the very nations feeling its wrath most acutely, yet bearing the least responsibility? We're talking about developing economies, and the price tag for their climate action is staggering. For years, the target was $100 billion annually from developed to developing countries. This goal was reportedly met for the first time in 2022, hitting $115.9 billion. But here's the stark reality. That's just not enough. The actual need is far, far greater. So what's next? The recent UN Climate Change Conference, COP29, gave us a new target, the New Collective Quantified Goal, or NCQG. This aims to triple climate finance to developing countries, targeting $300 billion annually by 2035. And that's not all. The broader goal is to rally all players, public and private, to scale up overall climate financing for these nations to at least $1.3 trillion a year by 2035. To put that in perspective, estimates suggest developing countries might need around $1.1 trillion starting as soon as 2025, potentially rising to $1.8 trillion by 2030. The World Bank Group is a major player, delivering a record $42.6 billion in climate finance in its fiscal year 2024, and committing to boost this to 45% of its total lending in fiscal year 2025. So where does this money come from? There are several channels. We have multilateral climate funds like the Green Climate Fund. Then there are multilateral development banks, such as the World Bank. Countries also provide funds directly through bilateral finance. Critically, private sector investment is essential, expected to make up at least half of that $1.3 trillion annual target. But attracting private money to developing nations for climate projects isn't easy, often due to perceived risks. This is where innovative financial tools come in. Think green bonds that fund environmental projects, or debt for climate swaps, where a country's debt is reduced in return for climate action. Blended finance, mixing public and private money to de-risk investments, is another key strategy. And carbon markets, which put a price on emissions, can generate revenue too. This finance is directed towards two main areas: mitigation and adaptation. Mitigation means cutting greenhouse gas emissions. Think renewable energy or protecting forests. Historically, mitigation has attracted more investment. Adaptation, on the other hand, is about adjusting to the climate change already happening, building sea walls, developing drought-resistant crops, or improving early warning systems. Despite the urgent need, especially in the most vulnerable countries, adaptation finance lags significantly. The Adaptation Gap Report 2024 highlights a massive shortfall, potentially hundreds of billions of dollars per year. There's a strong push to double adaptation finance from 2019 levels by 2025. Of course, the challenges are immense. The sheer scale of need, difficulties in accessing funds, ensuring projects are bankable, and existing debt burdens in many developing countries are all significant hurdles. Attracting that crucial private investment often requires de-risking and supportive policies. But it's not all doom and gloom. Technological advances in areas like green hydrogen and battery storage offer hope. The falling costs of renewables are a game changer. There is increased global commitment, exemplified by the new, more ambitious NCQG. And there's a growing focus on just transitions, ensuring the shift to a green economy is fair for everyone. The path forward demands a united front, developed countries meeting their pledges, a massive scale-up of private investment unlocked by smart public policies, continued innovation in financing, and building capacity within developing nations to effectively manage these funds. Transparency and ensuring a hefty slice of the pie goes to adaptation are vital for a climate-resilient future for all. Join us next time on Climate Currents.